Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're going to be talking about something really fundamental, especially here in Hawaii. It's about unlocking literacy for all our kids, our keiki. And we're looking specifically at an approach called structured literacy. It's research-backed, aiming to build a really solid foundation for reading and writing.
Yeah, absolutely. You could almost picture it like a clear path forward. Instead of, leaving things to chance or using methods that aren't quite as systematic, structured literacy offers this very explicit, very sequential kind of framework.
A framework, okay, like a blueprint.
Exactly, like a blueprint for how reading and writing actually work. It lets educators build those skills really logically, effectively.
Okay, I like that blueprint analogy. So let's dive into what that blueprint actually contains. What are the main parts?
Right, so the foundation, really the bedrock, is phonological awareness. That's basically understanding the sounds within spoken language.
Sounds first. Okay.
Yeah. And then building right on top of that is phonics. That's where you explicitly teach how letters connect to those sounds.
Some connections. Got it.
Then comes morphology, which is looking at the meaningful parts inside words. Think prefixes, suffixes, roots.
Ah, like un or ing.
Precisely. And that really helps with decoding and with building vocabulary, too.
So it's kind of layered sounds, letters, word parts.
Exactly. It builds. And the blueprint doesn't stop there. There's vocabulary development, building that rich understanding of what words mean. Syntax is in there, too. The rules for how we put sentences together, which is, super important for understanding.
Right. You can't understand if the sentence structure is confusing.
For sure. And that leads into semantics, which is about grasping the meaning of the whole text. And ultimately, the big goal, comprehension. Actually understanding, interpreting what you read.
Okay.
And, we can't forget writing. That's crucial, too, applying all these skills to express your own ideas.
Wow. Okay. That is comprehensive. It covers a lot of ground.
It does.
You mentioned earlier, and I thought this was interesting, that it's good for all students, not just the ones who might be struggling.
Yes, that's such a key point.
Yeah.
Look, it's definitely been shown to be incredibly effective for students with reading challenges, like dyslexia. I mean, there's landmark research backing this up.
Right. You hear about the science of reading.
Yeah, exactly. That research, like from the National Reading Panel back in 2000, or studies of it, coasts like Leon, they really highlight how well it works for kids who need that extra support.
Okay.
But the thing is, because it's so systematic and so explicit, it actually benefits every child.
How so?
Well, think about it. Reading is like cracking a code, right?
Yeah.
Structured literacy basically lays out that code very clearly, step by step.
Yeah.
So there's less guesswork for everyone. It just builds a much stronger, more confident foundation right from the beginning.
Okay, that makes sense. Removing the guesswork. I like that.
The National Reading Panel's work, for instance, it clearly showed that teaching phonics explicitly and systematically led to much bigger reading gains than, just hoping kids pick it up or less organized approaches.
That clarity is definitely helpful. Now, thinking about the classroom, what does this mean for the teachers, for the educators doing the work?
Well, that's another fascinating part. Structured literacy really empowers the teachers.
Empowers them. How?
When educators get a deep understanding of how reading and writing actually develop the science behind it all, they just become much more effective teachers. They learn how to teach these fundamental skills logically, step by step. They can almost anticipate where kids might struggle and address it before it becomes a big problem.
So they're better equipped to diagnose issues.
Exactly. And to differentiate. Tailor their teaching to meet all the different needs in a classroom. They get really skilled at pinpointing specific difficulties and giving targeted help.
So it's like giving them a much more precise and adaptable toolkit.
That's a great way to put it.
We've talked about the principles, but do we have examples? Like, where has this kind of approach really worked on the ground?
Oh, absolutely. There are some good examples out there. Take the North Lawndale Reads initiative.
Okay.
They really focused on weaving writing instruction into a strong foundational skills framework. And they backed it up with specific training and coaching for the teachers.
And the result?
Pretty impressive, actually. They saw a really significant jump in third-grade writing skills in just 1 year.
Wow, 1 year.
Yeah. It shows how that explicit focus, especially on writing, which is a key part of structured literacy, can really move the needle.
That's compelling. Didn't you mention another district, too, somewhere in Illinois?
Yes. Preve School District 76, they achieved what's called commendable status. And they did it by really strategically putting practices aligned with the science of reading, which, underpins structured literacy into place.
So what did they do specifically?
Well, they worked hard to get all the educators on the same page about what effective literacy teaching looks like, making sure the curriculum was truly based on the research. They set clear expectations for how reading should be taught consistently in every classroom. They made sure there was enough time dedicated to literacy instruction. And importantly, they used things like classroom observations and coaching to help teachers keep refining their skills.
So it's about system-wide changes, consistency, and ongoing support.
Exactly. And we're seeing real, tangible improvements, student results, school performance, when these strategies are put into practice softly.
Okay, so bringing this back home, back to Hawaii, or Kuleana here, how does all this connect to, lifting literacy levels across the islands?
While connecting the dots,
Yeah.
it's really about equity, isn't it? Ensuring every single student in Hawaii gets fair access to strong literacy skills.
Absolutely fundamental.
It really is. It's crucial for their future, for participating in their communities, for navigating, our complex world. And this is where partnerships become really important. Thinking about organizations like Catalyst for Educational Change, for example.
Okay, Catalyst for Educational Change. Tell us a bit more about them. What role could they play in this kind of shift towards structured literacy here?
So Catalyst offers a very clear, evidence-based approach. They have what they call a logic model, and it's specifically designed to help educators effectively implement structured literacy.
A logic model, so a plan.
A strategic plan, yes. Their whole approach centers on boosting teachers' knowledge and skills, giving them the expertise they need to really transform how literacy is taught in their own classrooms.
Right, so they focus on building up the capacity we already have within our schools by supporting the teachers directly.
Exactly that. It's about professional learning, ongoing support for educators focused squarely on structured literacy. Catalyst aims to create an impact that lasts.
Sustainable impact.
Yes. Their logic model maps out that path for teacher growth, which then, logically leads to better and sustainable student results in reading and writing across Hawaii.
Yeah.
It's about giving our teachers the tools and the deep understanding they need to make that lasting difference.
So if there are educators, maybe district leaders, listening right now in Hawaii and this is clicking for them, what's a practical next step?
Well, that's a really important consideration for anyone serious about improving literacy here. If you're looking for a strategic partner, someone to help your district really implement structured literacy effectively and get those meaningful long-term results for students, exploring a partnership with the Catalyst for Educational Change could be a really significant move.
Okay.
Their expertise, their evidence-based model, it can offer that needed support, that guidance to navigate this shift. It's about ultimately transforming literacy outcomes for kids across the state.
It really does sound like a powerful way to create lasting change. Just imagine the impact if widespread literacy truly empowered every young person in Hawaii, helping them reach their potential, opening doors, letting them contribute their unique gifts to our communities.
Absolutely.
Structured literacy, especially when supported by partners like Catalyst for Educational Change, it really does seem like a clear, promising path towards that goal.
It offers a concrete way forward.
Yeah. What if we could actually build a future where every student in Hawaii doesn't just, learn to read, but